Please come forward. Nathaniel Brazelton.
The joint meeting of the Oceanside City Council, Community Development Commission, Smallcraft Harbor Board of Directors, and Public Financing Authority is called to order at 3:30 p.m. December 16th, 2015. With no quorum being present, the meeting is hereby recessed until 5 p.m. or as soon as possible thereafter.
We'll get started, and could we have the consent calendar, please?
Would you like to do a roll call first, Mayor Wood?
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mayor Wood?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Lowry?
Here.
Councilmember Kern?
Here.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Here.
And it appears Councilmember Feller is late right now.
I think we-
Is the consent calendar or items 3 through 17?
Move approval.
Thank you.
No
Anyone?
public.
No public, thank you. Please vote.
Motion approved 4-0.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'm waiting for my, yeah. Gary?
At this time, we'd like to call forward Michelle Lund, Treasury Manager, for a proclamation for Michelle and her husband Bob, along with her family. Please come forward. And also City Treasurer Gary Ernst.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And we'll go ahead and read the proclamation here for Michelle. Deputy Mayor Chuck Lowry's aide, Don Green, has agreed to read this proclamation for me, as I'm a little hoarse, as you can tell. Thank you.
This evening we present a proclamation in honor of Michelle Lund. Whereas Michelle Lund has been a dedicated, loyal, and responsible public servant to the City of Oceanside for the past 27 years, and whereas Michelle has maintained a high level of integrity and strong work ethic in her finance and treasury positions, beginning with account clerk in 1988, advancing to investment officer, and culminating in the position of treasury manager since 2003, and whereas Michelle has acquired a wealth of knowledge regarding the investment strategies of the city and has given countless hours to study long-term fiscal choices which benefit the financial health of the City of Oceanside, now therefore the City Council of the City of Oceanside wishes to express its deepest appreciation for Michelle Lund's dedication and commitment to Oceanside and for her unwavering efforts in providing exceptional financial oversight. On behalf of the city, on behalf of Oceanside City Council and city staff, we thank Michelle for her years of successful service, issued this day, the 16th of December, 2015, signed Jim Wood, Mayor.
Thank you. Just want to make sure. Mr. Mayor, a proclamation is a tough act to follow, and I'll do my very best here. Just after the turn of the new century here, I had the pleasure of beginning to work with Michelle, first as a member of the Treasurer's Investment Oversight Committee, then for these last 5 years as the City Treasurer. First, I'd like to say we're honored to have here tonight a couple members of the Investment Oversight Committee, Mr. Edward Iyer, please stand, and also Bob Pickrell. Take a bow. They've been active. Thank you for coming. They've been active on the Investment Oversight Committee longer than I have been here, which is more than 15 years, so I want to express my gratitude for their coming here and showing their appreciation to Michelle. You know, they say you can tell a true expert at work by how they can make a highly complicated job look simple. And all of us who are fortunate enough to work with or near Michelle know that whoever thought of that idea was thinking of Michelle. Because her job is so multifaceted and highly technical, simply there was no room for any mistakes. When you invest in the 7-figure blocks, Michelle has done so efficiently and for so many years with such highly profitable results in literally every genre of the investment industry she specializes in on a daily basis. Throughout all these years, Michelle has been directly responsible for managing many thousands and thousands of profitable investments for the city, diligently working at her computer and Bloomberg terminal day after day, year after year, for nearly 3 decades. On the bonded debt side of our balance sheet, Michelle has worked closely with council and city management, restructuring pretty much our entire debt portfolio, saving enormous interest expense for the city, even through the Great Recession, when some other significant municipalities were suffering terribly from their unfortunate investment mistakes. Michelle's superlative efforts and technical expertise were instrumental in keeping our city from facing that sort of peril. All told, over Michelle's career, she has saved and earned the city of Oceanside more money than I could begin to count. Trust me when I tell you, I count pretty high. Okay. She will long be remembered as going above and beyond the call of duty, and we will all miss her terribly. But not until she retires at the end of the January. Is that right, Michelle? Okay, we need you here. Okay. Currently, she's busy coaching recently hired treasury manager in training, who I will introduce to you shortly. But for the moment, won't you join us in showing our heartfelt gratitude for the nearly 3 decades of service Michelle has given to our great city.
I too want to say a few words here because I've been here for 15 years on the council working with you, and you have protected our city's assets in a way that I can't even begin to imagine anyone else could have done any better. There's just no way. So Michelle, I thank you so much on behalf of all our citizens of Oceanside. I thank you for the service that you've given to us and continue to give to us. I thank your family as well for sharing her with us. And everything that you've done is just so wonderful, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Apparently, everybody doesn't want to say something, but let's face it. We enjoyed having you here, all the things you've done. You've touched a lot of lives in the city of Oceanside. You've saved a lot of money, and you came back and presented those to us, and we appreciate that. For heartfelt, we're going to love to miss you. How's that? And we'll see you down here once in a while. With that, I'd like to go to the family.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate all the comments about her work, that my daughter, and I just love her for who she is.
I just want to express my gratitude to everybody here at the city, especially council members, manager, city treasurer. It's been an honor and a privilege to work here for the past 28 years. And obviously this isn't the way I want to retire, but you just take what life hands you and you make the best of it. And I'm really going to miss everybody and miss my work. And I really did love working in the investment arena and working for the city of Oceanside. It has been a wonderful place to work, and I'm just grateful that my dad kept on pushing me to apply and work here. It's like kept on telling me, you're working in lousy private industry jobs, you need something stable, come work for the city. So, again, I want to express my gratitude for allowing me to work for as long as I could and accommodating my progressing lack of mobility, and appreciating that my mind still worked and was able to contribute up until it was time for me to retire. So I will miss everyone, and look forward to hopefully people keep in contact and coming and occupying my time, because I will need it. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. And thank you, Michelle, once again for an outstanding job. I'd like to take a moment to introduce very briefly our new incoming Treasury Manager. You want to stand up for a second? Good. This is Renee Borjaquez. When you have a superstar like Michelle, come on up, please. When you have a superstar like Michelle retiring, it's very difficult. We can't replace those shoes. What we do is we ask someone to come forth and grab the ball for the team and take us forward from where we're at, and that's exactly what we're doing here with Renee. Renee comes to us from the city of Escondido, a similarly sized, not quite as great or as big as we are, but nonetheless pretty close to the same size. Okay, Mayor's looking at me funny. And so it takes a lot of thought and process, frankly, to find the right person. And we had a lot of applications, but only one shining star came through, who happened to be the Treasury Manager. We were so fortunate to have a Treasury Manager of a city as complicated as Escondido is to come forth and apply, and I'm very pleased to have on board for now, what, about 6 weeks, Renee? Already 6 weeks training with Michelle and getting orientated. Between now and the end of January, she'll be continuing to work with Michelle, and she's moving along very nicely. So please, won't we all give Renee a hearty Oceanside welcome, please.
Yes. Item number 18 is approval of plans and specifications for the Phase 1 Downtown Oceanside Water and Sewer Replacements Project. Estimated project cost $6,010,000, and authorization for the city engineer to call for bids.
Good evening. Just waiting for the screen to come up. There we go. Good evening, Mayor and council members. The item before you this evening is a request to approve the plans and specifications for Phase 1 of the Downtown Water and Sewer Replacement Project. In total, over 264,000 linear feet of water and sewer pipeline will be replaced. This map depicts the downtown area with the 5 phases of the project in various colors. Phase 1 is shown on the left of this map, or to the north, in the mustard color and is circled in green. The department is currently completing a similar project in the South O neighborhood, and that's shown in the red and the black, really thick lines to the south of the map. That project replaced 5,900 linear feet of sewer line and 7,400 linear feet of water line. That project is due to be completed at the end of January, which is 6 months ahead of schedule. And as we ramp up with other development in the downtown area, the department will coordinate with development services as well as the development community lines, manholes, and customer sewer laterals. With the approval of plans and specifications this evening, the department plans to go out for bids, which will tentatively be ready for council award at the April 20th council meeting, with construction commencing in May and continuing for 1 year. And this project will also include a comprehensive outreach program to the public. So staff's recommendation is to approve the plans and specifications for Phase 1 and authorize the city engineer to call for bids. And with that, I'll take any questions. Thank you.
Have a seat at sidebar for right now.
No public.
Back to the council, please. Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Did I hear correctly, Ms. Gale, that we're 6 months ahead of schedule in the South O where we started this project? Did you say 6 months? And I'm seeing nods, so the answer is yes.
That's trying to get the mic to work here. Yes.
That's fantastic. Well, I've heard some wonderful things from residents from South O. Of course, it's something you have to prepare for, and I'm really glad that you're going to be doing the outreach. So it's a pleasure to go ahead and move approval of the plans and specifications and authorize the call for bids for Phase 1.
I'll second. I have a question. Okay. Could you put that map back up in the phasing? So this one circled in green is the Phase 1, both of those sections?
That's correct.
And they're going to start in May?
Yes.
I have some concerns about that going into summer with all the other construction down there, about closing streets, and it's going to be frankly, it's a mess now because of the new construction going in. So I have deep concerns over the summertime of working on those streets downtown. So traffic plans, obviously working with Development Service and the Police Department about getting people to navigate downtown when we're building that. Have you sat down and talked to them?
That is our plan moving forward as we go into the construction phase, is starting on those plans.
Oh, okay. So, because, that is a big concern, because usually we try to delay these projects till after the peak season and do them after summer. but it sounds like we're going to, starting in May, we're going to hit right at the peak season. It's not that, it really does need it. Like I expressed earlier concern about, the water side I'm pretty comfortable with. It's the sewer side that I'm very concerned with, about the aging of the sewer and the infrastructure there. If anybody knows what happened up on Mesa Drive, then it was closed for months because it took them, it was 1,000 feet before they could find a piece of pipe to connect onto to do the replacement. So I'm just concerned more about the sewer side than that. I know it needs to be done. Hopefully we can make it as painless as possible. I know there's going to be some pain involved. I'm just really concerned about the timing of it. And who's nodding her head so vigorously back there?
Come on up here. This is Amy Chikowski. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
She is our project manager, and she was also the shining star that was taking over for the Mesa project and really making that happen.
Oh, okay. Can you say your name again? Okay.
But to answer your question, sir, about this summer, we start in May, but the construction won't start until mid-June. We have submittals, we have traffic control plans to secure, and one of the benefits of starting in the summer is that we get erosivity waivers from the regional board for the SWIP due to the runoff. So it's very good for underground construction, and then we're going to start on the summer months in the Capistrano area. We're not going to do any work in the downtown during the summer months.
Oh, good, perfect. That's kind of, that was the answer I was looking for. Yeah, we'll start over at Francine Villas, and we'll work our way towards downtown after summer.
Yes,
perfect.
exactly.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to, Mr. Clerk, close this meeting, go back to a closed session, and be back out to tell you about it, okay?
Great.
Let's see, Attorney.
Okay, the council will be meeting in closed session to discuss conference with with labor negotiator on the status of negotiations involving the Oceanside Police Management Association. Council will also meet on item 2 of the closed session agenda, conference with legal counsel on existing litigation in the matter of Oliver versus City of Los Angeles et al. And on item 2B, anticipated litigation involving the initiation or potential initiation of litigation by the city in the matter of one case.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Be seated.
Next, we have the Employee Service Awards. Will Alma Sanchez from the Human Resources Department please come forward, along with all department directors and the council members?
Okay. Good evening, Mayor Wood, council members. It's really good. All right. Good evening, Mayor Wood, council members, department directors, and everyone in the audience. It is with great pleasure that we present to you tonight 4 employees who have reached the praiseworthy accomplishment of 20, 25, and 30 years of service. When your name is called, please come forward. We'll begin with the first recipient of 20 years of service, Nathaniel Breselton. Nathaniel began his career with the City of Oceanside on September 10, 1995 as a police officer and currently serves as a police sergeant in the Oceanside Police Department. Let's congratulate Nathaniel for 20 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Nathaniel. Next, we have employees with 25 years of service. Martin Marabi. Martin began his career with the City of Oceanside on November 18, 1990 as a police officer. Martin continues to serve as a police officer in the Oceanside Police Department. Let's congratulate Martin for 25 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Martin. Next, we have Ricardo Sepulveda. Ricardo began his career with the City of Oceanside on November 25, 1990 as a Maintenance Worker 1 in the Water Utilities Department. Ricardo has held various positions in the Water Utilities Department and currently serves as Distribution Operator 3. Let's congratulate Ricardo for 25 years of service to our community with a round of applause. Thank you, Ricardo. And lastly, we have Delfino Soto with 30 years of service. Delfino began his career with the City of Oceanside on December 29, 1985 as a Maintenance Worker 1. Delfino has worked in various capacities in the Water Utilities Department and currently serves as Plant Operator 3. Let's congratulate Delfino for 30 years of service to our community. You can come up if you'd like to. All right, that concludes our service awards. Thank you so much.
So I guess the 6 o'clock meeting starts at 5:50?
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you. The council met in closed session to discuss the status of labor negotiations with the Oceanside Police Management Association. There's no reportable action on that item. The council also met on item 2A, Conference of Legal Counsel on Existing Litigation in the matter of Oliver versus City of Los Angeles et al. That item was discussed. There is no reportable action under the Brown Act. Item 2B, initiation of litigation by the city pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 in the matter of one case. There's no action to report on that.
And number 25, 26.
Yes, at this time, Kathy Nichol may come forward. I don't see her. I don't see Kathy Nichol here. Yeah. And there are no speakers for item number 26.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 27.
Yes, item number 27 is request by Deputy Mayor Lowry to modify City Council Policies 100-02 and 100-20 and request that staff return to the council for formal approval of the modified policies.
Thank you, Mayor. So I noticed that staff has a lot of projects coming up in the next several years, including our general plan update that we've already started doing some work on. Council member items are often put on added strain on staff. Thank you. And use up staff resources. And we already have policies in place, I checked that out, that require full council approval on items that take more than 4 hours of staff time. So I believe we need to be more compliant with our own already existing policy. I discussed it with staff and the city manager, and I'm recommending that we extend the time frame for submitting council member items from 1 week advance notice to 3 weeks and provide specific information on that council member item. Also, I'm recommending that council member items are information only, rather than asking staff to come back to us to take an action on an item without full approval and direction of the council in advance. As the city council, I believe we need to discuss and agree on what the priorities are that we want staff working on. The only way to do that is to enforce our current council policies and add language that will have items coming before us. Staff time is too valuable to work on issues only to have direction change at a later date. I'm also recommending that the 4-hour staff time limit be refined to per agenda, not per issue or per subject. We must commit to doing what is right for the city by regulating ourselves first and not overburdening our staff. This will save resident tax dollars and bring more transparency to council decisions. So I want to make a motion that we move forward with item number 27.
I'll second.
Thank you.
No public on this item.
I didn't hear you.
No public on this item.
Go back to Councilman Curry.
Thank you. I just had one quick question. I'm going to bring an item up in January, which is basically a proposed resolution. It's my item, no staff time's involved, so I wouldn't be covered under that 3-week item. So it's only when it requires staff time is the 3-week notice. Okay, all right, thank you.
Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've been on the council now for, 15 years, and I believe that we work for the citizens of Oceanside. That's why we're elected. And while it seems like a nice thing to propose that we give 3 weeks advance notice versus 1 week advance notice, and sometimes some of us actually give more than that, that we're about the work of the citizens. And sometimes things can work on a timetable, and sometimes things cannot. I have never seen a problem with the way it's been used. I think I've probably average to low number of council items on the agenda this past year especially, but also in years before. I, as a council member, am very responsible and definitely take the time of the staff in mind whenever I request something. But just as we are responsible for the work of the city, we also stand as citizens of Oceanside, and we do not give our citizens timetables for their requests. We normally get requests, several requests every day from citizens, and it is not unusual to forward them to the city manager. I never know how much time these items take. I have no idea if it takes less than 4 hours. We should not be held to a stricter kind of rule that we cannot act unless we do three weeks notice. Residents get, as soon as staff has a chance, it's within a 24 to 48 hour timeline that residents get a response back from staff. And I really appreciate that. And I know that our citizens appreciate that. I want to say that we had a highly unusual situation just a couple of weeks ago, and that is where, and I would want to say that every single item that comes before the council is critical, either to a person or to a community. It's not every day that a child dies because of a situation. And that's what we had here in Oceanside, in the South O community. We had the death of a child, and the community was very, very upset. And the community rightfully had a right to response from city staff. And not just an internal memo, which we do all the time. We say, what's the status of this? What's the status of that project? I asked these questions very publicly so that we can get a response very publicly, so that our community not only would know, either, because they would be able to come to a council meeting and also address it, or in terms of on KOCT. And I believe that with respect to this one situation, the city manager actually had already been working on this response to the community and authorized staff to go ahead and go the extra mile in getting a response to the community, again, because we, not only South O residents, but we all deserved a response as to, what is the city doing about this? So I don't think this is a good idea. I think that we should continue to be mindful of staff time, which I absolutely am, but we're about doing the work of the city. We have our rules, our policies. They're not the kind of rules that require fines or anything like that. Policies that will help us to get our work done. And that's all it's meant to do, is to get our work done, mindful of time of staff. So I have been here for 15 years. I've got a lot of experience in making sure that that whatever requests I make very specific questions, and I'm very, very, very grateful that that staff is able to respond. So I don't think that this is a good idea. I think we just need to, I understand that Councilmember Lowry is new. This is his first year, and perhaps he doesn't understand completely, how we do things at city in terms of staff. But, we had times when we had aides spending a lot of time, and it was, it was discouraging, but with staff. But the idea is to get the work done and get responses to our community. So I would urge that we vote no on this. This is highly, highly unusual. I've actually never seen anything like this, and I've worked with different capacities with other cities. So I would urge a vote of no. Thank you.
Councilmember Feller, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I think Councilmember Sanchez is right in one respect, that we all get calls in situations every day of what's happening. But we have a ton of rules that govern everything that we do. And our staff puts in an inordinate amount of time to help out in those situations. When I get a call, I will either go to the city manager or ask the city manager to have staff time with the department head that's may be affected, because I know they know all the rules regarding their department. So you get exactly what can be done by the rules. We're going to have extraordinary circumstances probably for all of our lives. We got a police officer here because of extraordinary circumstances. Things happen that are out of our control completely, and those can be dealt with on a issue by issue. Our staff does a great job of handling everything that goes on in this city when they're aware of it. And we, because we're in every part of the city, many of us, at very different times and for different reasons, we hear about it right out of the mouth of the people affected. And not every issue needs to be a council decision in front of this body. And that's my point. There is no reason to come to the council until we really have something to change. You know, the things about what happened with the young boy down on Coast Highway. Councilmember Sanchez said staff was already working on it and bringing things forward to present, and it turned out to be probably blown way out of proportion for all of us in this council chambers, not taking anything away from the death of the child, but all of these things cannot change overnight, and the time that it takes us to deal with something that's tragic like that. I mean, there's more than likely going to be things of flooding and extraordinary circumstances coming through the winters. There's just so many things that can happen in a city that's 135th largest in the whole country. And for us to bring every little issue or big issue to the council before its staff has looked at it, and they will look at it, because if we make them aware of it and get out of their way, that becomes the issue of the department. And that's all I think that's all we can do as council members most of the time. It's not to get in and micromanage how it's brought forward. So I support this change.
Deputy Mayor, please.
Thank you, Mayor Wood. I understand what Councilmember Sanchez is saying about this having something to do with the death of Logan on Coast Highway, but it doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with city staff being put to work on jobs by the city council and it's redundant. The city staff was already at work on that. It had been at work on that particular issue for 2 to 3 weeks before we had a council meeting to discuss that. So it seems that if it were important, the city manager is in place and she takes the decision and the initiative, makes the choices of how to direct staff to take care of our issues. So I believe that by doing these very minor changes to existing council policies, we will improve how we get the work done here without using up more staff time and squandering our own needs to direct what the community is asking us to pay attention to. I think it's very important that we respect the needs of the community and the needs of the staff, and that's why I made this motion. Thank you, Mayor Wood.
Please vote, I guess.
Motion approved, 4-1, Sanchez, no.
Thank you. Kathy, you're here. Let's go back to the public.
Oh, Ms. Michael.
Honorable Mayor, council members, staff, and viewing public and attendees. My name is Kathy Nichol. I'm from Main Street, Oceanside. A few things in the downtown. We do want to remind everybody that on Thursdays, it is market day in downtown Oceanside. We have our morning market all 3 weeks, the remaining 3 weeks, in December. So it will be open tomorrow, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., rain or shine. It is a great place to get all your prepackaged foods, vegetables, and farm to table to get ready for the holidays. And of course, the Sunset Market. I love the Sunset Market. As I said before, why go to the mall? The market has it all. We hope to see you tomorrow at our last market of the year from 5 to 9 p.m. on Pierview Way and Coast Highway. We do have live music every week. And of course, tomorrow, Santa will be there from 5 to 8. We also want to announce that Art Walk will not be going on the very first Friday in January because that is New Year's Day. So please visit the website, Art Walk Oceanside, after the new year to find out what's going on in February. We also put together a dining guide for the holidays, both Christmas and New Year's Eve. It is on our website to find out who will be open Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's. So very in-depth list of which restaurants will be open in the downtown during those days. And then in January, we have a few events. Of course, the markets will be reopened. Sunset Market, the 7th is the very first week. But at the very end of the month, we have our Authors Night on January 28th. And then the very first week in February will be Public Safety Night. And I will bring you more information about that. But everything is on our website, mainstreetoceanside.com. We have an email newsletter and a lot of great information about what's going on downtown. So from Main Street Oceanside, we wish you all a very happy holidays and see you next year. Thank you.
Kathy, don't run off.
Uh-oh.
I've got 17 questions,
Oh, no.
but I've summed it all up into one.
Okay.
Would you review the morning and evening markets on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve?
The morning market will be open
Both days.
both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. However, the Sunset Market will not be open Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Okay, thank you.
Just the day market.
Great.
We'll all be home with family Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, could we do the city council reports, please?
Mayor Wood.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank everybody in the city, and especially our staff, and say it's been a tough year. And I thank them for what they had to do for the city of Oceanside. Also, the citizens have been involved, and I do appreciate it. Please enjoy it with a Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. I really appreciate that. I'll see you next year. Sounds funny when you say it, next year. This last week or so, I've been sick with a cold and didn't want to pass it on to everybody, so I didn't go to every event. But we had December 7th Pearl Harbor Survivor Ceremony with some of the council were there for fishing pier down the harbor. We had the annual lighting of the menorah, and it was at Civic Center. December 9th, we had the General, Camp Pendleton, Manning General Christmas buffet and party at Camp Pendleton. December 12th, we had the Phil-Am Holiday Ball. We all went to, or most of us went to. December 13th, they had San Luis Rey Mobile Home Park 15th Anniversary Champagne Brunch. And December 14th, we had the American Legion Commanders visit to Oceanside, which was pretty impressive. December 15th, we had the Oceanside Board of Directors Holiday Gathering at Masters. And a few other things that I went to. It's usually a busy time of the year. I would like to thank everybody, especially staff, for a tough year. And we're moving on to 2016. Hopefully this cold will be over by then. And thank you all, and have a wonderful Christmas, and be safe. Thank you all so much.
Deputy Mayor Lowry.
Thank you. I, like the mayor, went to a lot of events. I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary of being here on City Council, and people ask what the past year was like, and it's been really amazing. Mostly what's happened the past week has been some of the same events that I went to last year, but I have a good idea of where to park now and exactly what to wear, so that's been refreshing for me not to have to think about that. But I did have a ribbon cutting that Councilmember Sanchez helped with at the new bilge cleaning system at the harbor that will keep oil that collects in the bottoms of boats, keep it out of the water. It's 1 pint of oil leaked in the ocean will cover 1 acre of ocean, so we will be collecting all of it here. And we put that together with a grant, and I want to acknowledge our harbor master for making that happen. I also attended the opening of the Poseidon Bud Lewis desalination plant in Carlsbad. They are going to make 50 million gallons of water every day at that plant out of ocean water, and it's not going to be free. I also joined some of the council members at the Oceanside Police Department Senior Volunteer Appreciation Dinner, and I went to the El Corazon Aquatic Center Community Update meeting that same evening, and joined some other council members at the Parks and Recreation Senior Citizens Volunteer Appreciation Lunch at the Country Club Senior Center, and I had an amazing tour of the City of Oceanside Records Center and viewed some of our WPA era artwork. We have a really nice piece here in the council chambers. It's about 3.5 feet by 12 feet. It weighs 7,000 pounds. They have 16 more of those, or 18 more, at the City Records Center. If anyone's interested in those, they should call the city clerk's office, because we want to rehome them. Also, we just added a parking space to for our combat wounded veterans. It's right up here in the Civic Center parking lot. It has purple striping, and it has a sign designating it as combat wounded parking space. So I was really happy to see that we were able to get that placed, and I want to wish happy holidays and happy new year to everyone. Thank you for tuning into these meetings.
Councilmember Feller.
Thank you. I attended as well most of these things these events that the council is invited to. There's some tremendous need in the community. There is an awful lot of outpouring of love and concern for different facets of our community, and these events we go to many of them are based around what volunteers do for us, and there's really nothing more gratifying for a city council member than to be involved in almost everything that the city puts on. I did go to one that is and has been near and dear, and that is the senior dance at the Beach Community Center. And Eileen Turk and the staff, along with Fairwinds, put on a great show. In my first year on the council, I got involved with the failing senior dances that were being put on every, I think once a month at the time, at the country club site. And to see that it's grown to what it was with the help of the staff, and it was really something special this year. And I want Michelle to know that the staff really did a tremendous job down there, making those people laugh, and it's amazing. They can be in a walker, have a cane, it doesn't matter, they can just barely make a walk, but once that music comes on, they glide like they're greased up on ice. I mean, they just smooth as silk out there, and it's that era of the greatest generation that's still doing a lot of this dancing, and so it was very, very good. The one other thing I did was attended, and I missed the first part of the meeting because of attendance at St. Thomas More. They just opened their new church. They've been meeting in their gymnasium, and it's now a fully functional church, and every bishop or priest that was within probably 30 miles was there. So I feel totally blessed tonight. I think I'm riding high with that, and it was a very long service as well, but it's great for the season because this is the Christmas season, and so I wish everybody at home Merry Christmas.
Councilmember Kern.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
And Happy New Year.
Okay. You done? Okay. All the events that was enumerated here before, I attended many of those. I just want to highlight two of those things that came about. One, and the mayor talked about this briefly, is we had the national commander of the American Legion here for dinner. And it was a really big deal. I am a member of Post 146 of the American Legion, and we worked on this quite a bit to have the national commander here. We had about 180, 200 people there. Dale Barnett, the national commander, gave a nice talk about what they do on behalf of veterans nationwide and how they go to battle every day on behalf of veterans with the legislatures and the Congress to make sure that our veterans are taken care of. And they're probably the #1 veterans organization in the nation, and it was really impressive to have them all there. And actually, Lieutenant General Berger, the commanding general of the MEF, was there, and he spoke. And so it was really a nice event. So I don't ever remember having the national commander for the American Legion in Oceanside. So that was really something for us. I mean, not just for the city of Oceanside, but it was really a big deal for Post 146 of the American Legion, the Legion post that I belong to. And the other one, and the deputy mayor mentioned this, is Poseidon coming online. I know we're in the midst of a drought or water restrictions, but with Poseidon coming online, producing 50 million gallons of water a day, that is basically 8 to 9% of the water used in San Diego County. That one plant could supply all of Oceanside and all of Carlsbad, just coming from that plant. So I know we're under a lot of water restrictions. I think the state has kind of overstepped their bounds as far as putting water restrictions on us, because we're actually adding water in storage now in the middle of the drought. We're actually about a year and a half ahead of filling the San Vicente Reservoir in the middle of a drought, because everybody's saving water, but we really shouldn't have to. You know, we provided for this. The Water Authority started this back in 1991 with the IID water transfer and alternate sources of water, the latest of which is obviously Poseidon and the desal plant. So the idea that we've really taken care of our water needs in the county of San Diego. The Deputy Mayor is correct. It's not cheap. It's not free. It's actually probably twice the cost of metropolitan water now. But I'd like to remind people, when we built the desal plant down in the river back in the early 90s, that water was twice the cost of metropolitan water. It is now our cheapest water. You know, we pay about $1,250 per acre foot, probably a little bit north of that right now. And the water coming out of our desal plant is about $800 an acre foot. So at a certain point in time, even though it sounds expensive now, it will be our cheapest reliable source of water. So I really appreciate everybody's work this past year, along with, I'm sure the rest of the council members wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, the idea of a safe New Year, and just a reminder, we've got notices that OPD is out there with the DUI checks. So do not drink and drive. This is the time of year for a lot of partying. I just want everybody to be mindful that this is not the time to be drinking and driving. So thank you.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you. This has been a very, very busy month. So many great and exciting events happening throughout Oceanside. Some things, the work of the city just continues even when we do get bad news. But I want to, first of all, give a shout out to staff, because when they heard that, and especially our city manager, when city manager heard that the computers were not working at Valderrama and at Melba Bishop Park, and the computers were absolutely necessary to help kids apply for scholarships and get their applications in for college. Our city moved so quickly to determine, first of all, that the Wi-Fi was working, and to install computers that we had not been using. And so that was such a great effort on behalf of staff. So I want to thank staff personally for that, especially besides Michelle, also Mike Moran, who IT got them working, got the business of getting our kids going forward on their applications for college. And that also, I want to thank the work of Save Our Streets, the number of volunteers that continue to work every single day without getting a single penny for pay. So I really, really appreciate everything that they do, especially in our most challenged neighborhoods. This month especially was special for the Seau family. And I have to say that Junior Seau continues to be a huge, tremendous positive influence here in Oceanside. First of all, we did have a ribbon cutting at the Rady Children's Medical Center here in Oceanside. We call it the Castle. And what happened there was Mama Seau, Papa Seau, Mama Seau's sister Florida, and Annette, a junior sister, were there for this ribbon cutting. It was very, very special. It was the Junior Seau Foundation. It contributed $500,000 for this addition at the Rady's Children's Center. So it was poignant. It was just such a great feeling to see that even after he's gone, Junior is still contributing so much to our citizens here, City of Oceanside. there was also, the family was also, again, honored, and so was our city of Oceanside and Pirates Oceanside High School football, offered with the NFL Super Bowl High School Honor Roll program, which was recognizing schools and communities that contributed to Super Bowl history. So we actually got 2 golden balls, 2. And again, very, very historic. One for Joe Salavea, and the other one, of course, for Junior Seau. So, just really, really great. Pirates were out. Football, Oceanside Pirates did so great this past year, and I want to salute the young men who continue to play so well on the field and also continue with their studies. Junior Seau continues to contribute to our city in our youth workouts at the beach and at Club 55, and again, such a great, great family. I also was present for the American Legion National Commander Dale Barnett's dinner and Christmas party. It was the first time ever that the National Commander had come to Oceanside, and I know that my friends in the auxiliary were just so pleased to be part of it, and it was just an honor to be part of that as well. And yes, there were several speeches that were given that really brought home the notion that we live in a great nation, even though we have our, all the challenges throughout the world. This is the greatest nation in the world. Other highlights for City of Oceanside, of course, was the Harbor Parade of Lights. I've been asked to be judge of the year, and this year especially seemed to be a really perfect year because the sky was clear, there was no rain, winds, and the sailboats and the motorboats and even the smaller boats that participated were just so wonderful. So, and the other thing that happens every year is the champagne brunch at Rancho San Luis Rey. You guys rock. These are residents, these are seniors, some veterans, some widows of veterans who just served the city as volunteers, fought really hard to maintain their rights within their homes, and I salute you, all residents of our mobile home parks in Oceanside. And on a personal note, this has been a very challenging year for myself, my family. I did lose my dad at the beginning of the year 2015. I just feel blessed that I was able to spend the last part of his life at home with him, and be with him when he took his last breath. He's one person, very, 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 very humble guy who came to Oceanside from Texas in the 30s, and just, with a 7th grade education, just really set his roots here and would go to City Hall and fight for streets and street lights and Valderrama Park and really put things into the park and the trees and all that. And the fact that he was so community-oriented, as is my mom, it was, he was a shining star for me. And while it's almost been a year, he also gave me an additional gift of life. So I just feel so blessed, and the fact that I'm still here in Oceanside, part of what is it? How many generations now? 5, 6 generations. This is a great, great city. We have phenomenal residents here, small businesses, a few large businesses, but we have the future in our hands. I'm excited about things that are happening on Coast Highway. I'm excited about the entrepreneurs that are coming to Oceanside, especially South O. You guys rock. And I believe that we're going to have even a greater year next year. here in Oceanside. Thank you. Oh, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor?
I forgot one item. It's on the screen. It's the library Teen Zone Star Wars holiday party. 2 big locations. Everything's free. It's for grades 6 through 12. Mission Branch, 3:30 next Tuesday, the 22nd. Civic Center Library, 3 p.m. Wednesday, the 23rd. Everybody should go to that if you're a teenager. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, I will adjourn this meeting to Wednesday, January the 6th, 2016, at this location. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the holidays and be safe.